Can you tell me what was the last topic I done yesterday?
Sir, last was fractional changes, sir.
What?
Fractional changes.
Okay. Did we done the percentage changes?
Yes, sir.
Percentage changes also over?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, sir. Chalo. Keep the next heading better. Isotropic solids. Isotropic solids. Isotropic solids. Where is it? The solids which expands. The solids which expand equally. Expansion is nothing but what, beta? Delta L by L into your 100% population, isn't it? So delta L by your L is same. The solids which expands equally in all directions. What are the all directions? Coefficient of linear expansion on x-axis, coefficient of linear expansion along y-axis must be equal to coefficient of linear expansion along your z-axis, are called as of your isotropic solids. Are called as of what? Isotropic solids. So what are the isotropic solids, beta? The solids which expands equally. That means change in length by original length is same in all the direction. That is alpha x is equals to alpha y is equals to alpha z. Such type of the solids are called as of your isotropic solids. Okay. Next one. Anisotropic solids. Opposite of the above thing what I have written right now. Is it? The solids are having different linear. The solids having different linear coefficients. Different linear coefficients in different directions. Or called as of your anisotropic solids. Examples for this one is nothing but of your crystals. Example for the isotropic solids are cuboidal. Expansion in the x-axis, y-axis, and all of them are same, are called as of your isotropic solids by definition. And the solids which have different linear coefficient, that means alpha x is not equal to alpha y is not equal to your alpha z. So I can write here alpha x is not equal to alpha y and alpha y is also not equal to your alpha z. Or alpha x may be equal to alpha y and it is not equal to your alpha z. Or alpha x is not equal to alpha y but alpha x is equal to your alpha z. These are also called as of your anisotropic solids. The best example for that one is nothing but of your crystals. Isotropic solids means any solid which can expand equally in the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis are called as isotropic solids. Example is nothing but of your cuboidal structures. The cuboidal structures has the same expansion in the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. If it is given like that, then such type of bodies are called as of your isotropic solids. Clear for everyone? I hope you got an idea what exactly is of your isotropic solid and what exactly is of your anisotropic solids. Okay.
So then alpha x equal to can it be alpha x equal to alpha z?
Yeah, that can be also possible, but any two can be equal, another must be unequal. Then only it will be your anisotropic.
Okay, sir.
Okay, na? X and Z may be equal. Y may be different. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Chalo. So we did the aerial expansion also, no? Aerial expansion, volume expansion.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, chalo. So I make these 2 points very clear, beta. Isotropic solids are nothing but the solids which expands equally in all directions. They are called as of your isotropic. The solids which having the different linear coefficients in the different directions are called as of your anisotropic. Examples for that one is nothing but of your crystals. Okay, na? So let us try to go for the next one of this one, beta. Very, very important relation. So try to be a little bit attentive for these conditions. Next heading is relation between coefficients of isotropic solids. So we are talking about the relation between coefficients of your isotropic solids. Isotropic solids means the solids which are having the equal expansion in all the directions. Like say for example, just listen it better. This is your cubical structure better. This is say for example of your cubical structure. That means initial length of this one I'm taking it as I'll write with the blue pen. Initial length of this one is nothing but right now L1 is equals to 1 meter. Isn't it? And area of this one, initial area A1 is also equal to your 1 meter square. And volume of this one V1 is equals to your 1 meter cube. Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? So all the sides are equal, having equal dimension. This side, and this side. 1, and as well as of your 1. Clear? Initial length of this cuboidal is 1 meter. Initial area is 1 meter cube. And initial volume is equals to 1 meter cube part of relation. Now when you heat this one, the volume of this one will be slightly increasing. Okay. Now I'm giving certain temperature for this one. The temperature for this one is say for example T2 degrees centigrade. That is nothing but of your delta T. So that is equals to your T2 minus of your T1. The difference is equals to say 1 degree centigrade. The degree is equals to 1. That means what do you mean by that one right now? T1 is equals to what temperature? T1 is equals to 0 degree centigrade. And T2 is equals to how much for me? T2 is equals to say for example T2 is equals to your 1 degree centigrade. I am increasing it to only 1 degree centigrade. That means T2 minus T1 means 1 minus 0. That will be equal to 1 degree. So raise in temperature is equal to how much for me? Delta T. Now who will tell me the final volumes better right now? There is increase in the length right now. That increase in the length is calculated by the formula. L2 minus L1 is equals to L1 into coefficient of linear expansion alpha into your delta T. I hope you remember this formula. Delta L is equals to alpha is equals to delta L by original length into delta T. So delta L is how much for me? L2 minus L1 is equals to L1 into alpha into delta T. Alpha is coefficient of linear expansion. That means this will become for me L2. L1 is how much for me? 1. That is equals to your 1 into alpha. Delta T is equals to how much for me? 1. That means L2 will become for me how much? Alpha plus 1. L2 is equal to how much for me? Alpha plus of your 1 part of relation. The same way A2 will become for me how much better? Can anyone tell me A2? A2 is equals to your L2 square. Ante kada? So this will become for me alpha plus of your 1 whole square. The same way V2 will be equal to how much better? Alpha plus 1 cube. Is it clear for everyone? See, L2 value I got as the second length which is been given right now. I got L2 is equals to how much for me? L2 is equals to alpha plus 1. A2 means L square because all the sides expansion is nothing but same. V2 is nothing but L cube. That is nothing but L2 cube. So A2 is equals to L2 square. So alpha plus 1 square. V2 is equals to alpha plus 1 whole cube. Is it clear for everyone? The point is clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Let us try to go for the relation between alpha and beta. First, I'm trying to write here. So I'll write the heading right now here. Relation between alpha and beta. So first, let us try to go for the relation between alpha and as well as of your beta. Can anyone tell me what is the beta formula, beta? Beta is equals to your A2 minus A1 by A1 into your T2 minus of your T1. I hope everyone remember this one.
Yes,
So
sir.
A2 value is how much for me? A2 value I got right now. Alpha plus 1 whole square minus A1 value is equal to how much for me? 1 divided by A1 is your 1 into T2 minus T1 is also equal to 1. And then
Yeah, sir.
now this one is the form of A plus B whole square. So that will become for me how much? A square plus B square plus 2AB. That means 2 alpha plus of your alpha square. That will be gone. Have you got this step, everyone? This is the form of A plus B whole square. Alpha square plus 1 square plus 2 times of your alpha into your 1. Isn't it? 1 is already there. Because of this minus, that value will be gone right now for me. So it is equal to how much for me? 2 alpha plus alpha square. Is this step clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So I got the value of beta is equal to how much for me? 2 alpha plus of your alpha square. As the expansion is 1 degree, very small. As expansion is very, very small. So alpha is also very small. So alpha square can be neglected. Why neglected, beta? Because if alpha value is very small, square of that value will also be very, very less. Hope you understand. As expansion is very small, because 1 degree centigrade means expansion is almost all negligible. So alpha is what for me right now? Very small. So I can neglect the value of your alpha square. So alpha square can be neglected. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
So I can write here right now, beta is equal to how much for me from this one? If alpha square is neglected, beta will become for me how much? 2 times of your alpha. So this is the first relation between the beta and alpha. Beta is equal to how much for me? 2 times of your alpha. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So we got the relation right now. How much? I'm writing here right now. Beta is equals to 2 times of your alpha. Okay, just take the screenshot of this one. I'll be rubbing this part so that we got the relation between your gamma and as well as of your alpha. Then can rub it, beta?
Yes, sir.
Sure. I'm rubbing this one now. I've taken the screenshot. I'll send you, no problem in that one in the group. Anyhow, you'll be still getting the recording property problem email later. Sure. Now, what is it now? Next one is relation between alpha and gamma. Relation between alpha and gamma particulation. Can anyone tell me what is the gamma formula, beta? Gamma is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1. V2 value, how much I got? Alpha plus 1 whole cube. That means A plus B whole cube minus V1 is equal to how much for me? 1 divided by 1 into your 1. So that will be equal to how much for me? A plus B whole square. That means this will become for me 3 alpha plus this one is a 3 alpha square plus of your alpha cube. And then 3 alpha plus 3 alpha square plus of your alpha cube. Plus 1, this one is minus 1, that will get cancelled. So this term again here right now, as alpha is very, very small, this term is right now very small. So this can be neglected. Same like previous case. As alpha is very small, alpha square value is still small. If you're multiplying anything with a very negligible, that is almost all right now for me, 0. So 3 alpha square will be a very small value. So the alpha cube will also be a very small value. So this value is neglected. So therefore, gamma will be equal to how much for me? 3 times of alpha. Gamma is equals to 3 times of alpha. Therefore, gamma is equals to alpha plus 2 alpha and Raskocha. Any problem? Isn't it? So therefore, I can write this one. Gamma is equals to alpha plus 2 times of alpha is nothing but what for me? Beta. So gamma is also equal to your alpha plus of your beta. Is this step clear?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So from the value of this one, I got gamma is 3 times of alpha. 3 alpha I'm writing as alpha plus 2 alpha. So gamma is equals to your alpha plus of your beta alpha plus per your beta part of relation, isn't it? So for isotropic solids, I can write here for isotropic solids, alpha is to beta is to gamma will be equal to how much? 1 is to 2 is to 3. And then because alpha, beta is 2 times of alpha, gamma is 3 times of alpha. So ratio will be 1 is to 2 is to 3. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? Next one. Beta can also be written as of your beta is equals to 2 times of your alpha. So from this one I can write 2 times of alpha value is equals to how much for me? Gamma by 3. Can I write like this? Beta is equals to 2 by 3 times of your gamma. Right? Because alpha value is how much from this one? Alpha is equals to gamma by 3. So that value I have substituted here. So beta is equals to how much for me? 2 gamma by your 3. It's not R, it is a gamma beta. Be careful of that. So it is a 2 gamma by your 3. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are the some of the relations between the isotropic solids when all the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis are expanding by the same thing. Then alpha is equals to how much for me? Beta is equals to 2 times of alpha and gamma is equals to 3 times of alpha. And relation between alpha, beta and gamma is 1 is to 2 is to 3 part of the relation. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Clear up this? Relation between alpha and gamma. Gamma is V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1. V2 value is alpha plus 1 whole cube because V2 value I got from here. Minus 1 divided by 1 into 1. This is A cube plus B cube form. I'm expanding. This minus will go. So this will be 3 alpha plus 3 alpha square plus alpha cube. There will be, as alpha is very small, 3 into alpha square will also be very small. Alpha cube will be again still small. So I'm neglecting that value. So I'm getting gamma is equals to 3 times of alpha, or gamma is equals to alpha plus of your beta part of relation. Relation for an isotropic solid is alpha is to beta is to gamma is 1 is to 2 is to 3, or beta is equals to 2 gamma by your 3 part of the relation. Next one. For anisotropic solids, in the bracket crystals, for anisotropic solids. Okay, this one is alpha x, this one is alpha y, this one is your alpha z. Isn't it? First point you see. I can write here gamma value will be equal to 3 times, so gamma value will be equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z and right? Because just now we got for isotropic relation. What is the relation? 3 times of alpha. Isn't it? If alpha x, alpha y, alpha z is same, then we'll get 3 times of alpha. For anisotropic solids, gamma is equals to your gamma is equals to how much for me? Alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. What is alpha? Coefficient of linear expansion. Alpha is nothing but what for me? Coefficient of linear expansion. Coefficient of your linear expansion. Coefficient of your linear expansion. Gamma is equals to alpha x plus alpha y plus of your alpha z part of relation. Now, second point in this one. Gamma can be written as 3 times of your alpha. Isn't it? So that is equals to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. That means alpha will be equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z divided by your 3. Okay, na? Same way. Second point. Beta is equals to 2 by 3 times of alpha. That is 2 by 3 into, this one is nothing but equal to how much right now? Alpha value I got right now from the given condition. So alpha value can be written as right now from the given condition. Alpha is equal, so all of them are right now different in the conditions right now. So I can write this one as of your alpha x plus alpha y plus of your alpha z. Okay, na? Beta is equals to, directly you can write here itself otherwise. So beta is equals to, second point, beta is equals to 2 by 3 times of your alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. ఎందుకంటే beta is equal to 2 times of alpha కదా. Alpha value direct substitute చేసుకుంటున్నాను right now. That will be equal to how much for me? Alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z divided by 3. So beta is equals to 2 by 3 into alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z in the anisotropic solids. Clear? Gamma is alpha x, alpha y, alpha z for the anisotropic solids. If they are same, gamma will become how much? 3 times of alpha. So as gamma is 3 times of alpha, so alpha value can written as alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z divided by your 3. And beta is equals to how much for me? 2 times of your alpha. Beta is equals to 2 times of your alpha. Alpha value already we got right now. That alpha value I'm substituting here. So I'm getting 2 by 3 alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. Is the point clear here, beta? Keep a note.
Yes, sir.
Write one point. Alpha of your iron, this is always constant beta. That means coefficient of your linear expansion of your iron is 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade beta. Alpha of your iron is 12 into 10 to the power of minus, that is experimental value. The same way, alpha of your brass is equals to your 18 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. Okay. Then alpha of INVAR, INVAR, INVAR steel antamu. This is actually a combination of your nickel and as well as of your steel alloy. INVAR is nothing but of your what? Combination of nickel plus steel alloy. The mixture chemistry lo vastundi, but just right now doing problems will be getting alpha of INVAR ani. Alpha of your INVAR is equals to 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. Least of the given condition. చాలా తక్కువ వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. INVAR అనేది ఒక మెటల్ అన్న, which is a combination of a nickel and as well as of a steel alloy. Okay. Alpha of iron is 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Alpha of brass is 18 into 10 to the power of minus 6. And alpha of INVAR is equals to 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, let us try to do one problem based on this one. I'm rubbing this. Take one question, madam. A crystal has linear coefficient. Take a paper and pen, rough paper, and try to do it out better. A crystal has a linear coefficient in one direction. 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. And in any direction, thereafter to it has linear coefficient of 12 into 10 to the power of your minus 6. In one direction has 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6, and in any direction, perpendicular to it has linear coefficient of 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade. Find coefficient of volume expansion. Right? A crystal has linear coefficient in one direction. In one direction, it is 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6. And in any direction perpendicular to it, that means the remaining two directions will be equal to how much for me? If this is x, the remaining two will be equal to your y. As a linear coefficient of how much? 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6. And it is same. Find the coefficient of volume expansion. Coefficient of volume expansion formula, gamma is equals to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. So this one is nothing but how much for me? Alpha 1. And remaining two direction it is same. That means this will be taken as a 2 times of your alpha 2. That's it. So that will be equal to how much for me? 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6 plus 2 into 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So this will be equal to how much for me? 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6 plus. So this one is nothing but of your 24 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So it is 230. That is nothing but of your 39. So that will be equal to your 39 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade will be the answer. Which in the the problem?
Sir, can you explain once more, sir?
See here, the crystal has a linear expansion in one direction. Like see, the crystal has how many direction? Always 3 dimension, no? X, Y, and as well as of your Z. And all of them are perpendicular to each other. This angle is 90, this angle is 90, this angle is also 90. So what is telling is, in one direction, if it is alpha 1, in direction it is an alpha 1 right now, that value is this one. And in any direction perpendicular to it. Any direction means for this one, this might be perpendicular, this one is also perpendicular. That means this is your alpha 2 and this one is also alpha 2. That means this one is alpha y, and this one is your alpha z, this one is your alpha x. Alpha x is alpha 1, alpha y and alpha z are equal to how much for me? Same, because it is given for me 12 into 10 to the power of minus 6 perpendicular to this one. Perpendicular to this one means either x, y direction or z direction. So both of them are same. That is the reason alpha x I am taking as alpha 1. Alpha x and alpha y are same, but 2 times of alpha 2. Alpha 1 is 15 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Next one is 2 times of alpha 2. Just multiply and simplify it, you will get the answer. Okay, now?
Yes, sir.
Don't know whether I have taken the screenshot or not. Still not. Next slide. Applications of expansion of solids. Applications of expansion of solids. First one. See, you might have been seen in the railway tracks, in the tracks part, you always seen that there is a gap left out between two iron rods. Have you seen it anytime? Whenever there is a track part, between one rod and another rod, always certain gap is been left out. Even
Yes,
in the
sir.
metro, if you might have been seen anytime, you try to see it out. Between the layers part affiliation, every time for the very two long rods, there is small gap left out and it is being fixed with the riveting part affiliation. Gurtunda,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? Why? What is the reason for leaving the
Yes,
space
sir.
between the two rods, beta?
In summer, they'll expand, sir.
Yeah, in summer they will be expand. If they don't have the space, the rods will be bending. So in order to avoid that bending, a small gap is been left out between the two rods. How do you calculate that gaps better? See here, a gap left between two successive rails to allow the expansion during summer. Isn't it? Now see, this is one rod and this one is your another rod. Same material. This one is length L1. This one is also length L1. So whatever the gap is been left out, so this will be the delta L. That will be your delta L part. So length of the both of them I'm saying same. So this is L. This one is also your L. So delta L is nothing but a pure gap. So what is L right now, beta? L is nothing but a pure length of each rail. Length of your each rail. And it is made up of certain materials. Say for example, alpha and alpha. Alpha is known as of your coefficient of linear expansion. Coefficient of your linear expansion. Coefficient of your linear expansion. And temperature difference of that one is say delta T. Delta T will be equal to your how much for me? Temperature difference. We know the formula. Alpha is equals to delta L by your L into your delta T. That means the gap can be represented by the delta L. Gap formula. Gap is equals to delta L. That is equals to L into alpha into delta T. So this is the formula to calculate the gap. Gap is nothing but a pure expansion. So expansion between the two railway gaps is always calculated by the formula. Delta L is equals to L into alpha into your delta T. Is the first application clear for everyone? So the gap between the two successive rails is to allow the expansion during the summer. L is the length of the each rail, alpha is coefficient of linear expansion, and delta T is your temperature difference. Is it clear for everyone?
Sure.
Chalo. Next one, think and tell me the answer. Give me the answer. Application number 2. Application number 2. See this one. This is a metal plate, beta. Think and give me the answer. There is a small hole in this one, and there is one big hole in this one. Okay, and radius of this one is from here to here. This one is R1, and here to here this radius is R2. And the distance between these two from here to here, I'm taking it as a pure D. This is a metal plate, beta. This is totally a metal plate. Okay, you started heating it. So when you heat it, when you keep it under the flames, this metal plate will try to increase, isn't it? So when the plate is heated, when plate is heated, so tell me, what happens to the value of R1? What happens to the value of R2? And what happens to the value of your D? Can anyone? Can anyone give me the answer?
Sir, R1, R2 will increase and D will decrease.
No. Still anyone?
D will
Think.
increase and along with it R1 and R2 expand. 2.
Then? What do you mean to say? Increase or decrease?
Increase.
What?
D increases and R1 R2 decrease a little bit.
R1 and R2 decrease, huh? Inka?
Metal plate.
See, when you heat it, this metal is made up of n number of atoms now. So this will try to increase like this. This whole size also increases. This whole size also increases. And along with that one, the atoms that have been present in this one is also increasing. So all of them will increase. R1 will increase, R2 will increase, and D also increases. Because when you heat it, whatever the distance between these atoms have been present, that will be increasing. And whatever the distance between this, because this is also made up of a n number of your atoms like this now. So when you heat this one, So the gap between them is also increasing. So this will be expanding in the outward direction. Plate also expanding in the outward direction. So distance increases, R2 increases, R1 also increases. So when the plate is heated, R1, R2 and D will also increasing because they are made up of what? Same material. Clear? Ardhamainda?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me the answer for this one now. Third one. Think and tell me the answer. I'm rubbing this one. Third one right now here. Say for example, if I give you concentric circles like this, think and give me the answer. Don't give me the answer directly like that. And this one is of radius R1. And this one is your radius of R2. My question is right now, first question again right now. What happens to the value of R1? What happens to the value of R2? And what happens to the value of your increase in radius, R1 minus of R2? When your heat is given for this one. When concentric solid bodies are heated. What happens to the R1? What happens to R2? And what happens to R2 minus R1?
R1 and R2 increase, R2 minus R1 stays constant.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo, see. If R1 is equals to 10 initially and R2 is equals to 20, what is the difference between them?
10.
10.
Now when you increase the temperature, R1 is coming to 11 and R2 is coming to 21. So what is R2 minus R1?
10.
Huh? Antena? R1 is how much for me? 10. R2 is nothing but 20. Difference on that one is how much for me? Over 10. If R1 is equal to right now, because the temperatures has been very huge, I have taken right now. If this one is say for example 20 and this one is nothing but of your 30. R2 minus of your R1. 30 minus 20, that will be equal to how much for me? 10.
10.
10.
That will be provided if and only if the two bodies are having same radiuses. But see right now, when you are heating, this dimension and these dimensions are different. So the expansion in both the bodies will not be the same. Ante kada? Ante if R1 is increasing by 11, R2 might be increasing by your 24 or 25 or 26. Because the bodies are right now what different dimensions. This may take larger heat. This may take the smaller heat particulation. Our outer part is directly getting hit, but the expansion is more in the outer compared to the lower on particulation. So at that time, the expansion in both the bodies are different. That means the difference of that one will be same or different?
Different.
That will be different. That means if R1 is right now increasing, R2 is also increasing. And R2 minus R1 is also increasing. So when a concentric circles are being heating, radius R1 will increase, R2 will increase, and the difference of that one is also increasing in the upward direction. Difference perugutundi kada? Avuna kada? If R1 was 10, R2 was 20, difference was how much for me? 10. If R1 is 11 and R2 is nothing but say for example some 45, then the difference value we got more than the initial condition, isn't it? Have you got this point or shall I tell you once again?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So that means whenever a concentric circles are being heated, radius, inner radius increase, outer radius increase, and the difference of their radius also increases. Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear for everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, beta?
No, sir.
Sir, why don't the circles increase constantly? Like, why does one circle increase?
They need to be constant means they should be of same dimensions. Dimensions are different, na beta. So heat flowing in outer part is different from heat flowing from the inner part. If heat flowing in the outer part is say for example 10, inner part it can't be more same na. It may be 5 because the radius is less, area is less, and volume is also less.
Okay, sir.
Isn't it? If both the bodies are of same dimension, one upon the other, then the increase in all the bodies will be the same. Clear for everyone? Fourth application of your solids. There are a lot of applications better. The fourth application says right now for me for sealing. Platinum is used to seal the glass. Glass sealing ko manam use chestamu platinum. Why? Alpha of your platinum is equal to your alpha of your glass. Whenever the coefficient of linear expansions of any two bodies are same, that will be used for sealing. That means for the glass, platinum alpha of the platinum is found to be same. It is an experimental value beta, isn't it? That is the reason platinum is generally used to seal the glass. Platinum is generally used for sealing of your glass. Clear for everyone? Okay na?
Okay, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Remaining applications, we'll try to do it in the tomorrow session of a class beta. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.